Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. Here's what we have in the bulletin. Residents in the east and west of the island stage protests over bad roads. Opposition blasts media over what it says is the failure of media to probe non-certification of Prime Minister's statutory declarations. And later in sports, JFF member hints at division ahead of elections. Thank you for joining us. I'm Shamela Pullen. Here are the details. We begin with a developing story. The police have intercepted what they believe was a firearm transaction in Papine St. Andrew. 4 men are in custody. An M16 rifle and 2 vehicles were seized. The police made the seizure about 11 this morning. We'll have more details in subsequent newscasts. The authorities have been kept busy trying to clear roadblocks in several parts of the country due to deplorable road conditions. In St. Catherine, residents of Gilbert Avenue in Dunbeholden say they're fed up. They're again appealing for the road to be fixed.
Taxis don't want to turn off, right? If you're coming from off the road and rain is falling, or if you have goods, you have to go straight down. Our kids we can't even find taxis who are willing to take our kids to school.
So on my way going to church, slide right there and lick my head on that piece of iron on the truck there. No animal don't live inside. We are all human beings. Yeah? And there's no way human being can live in a them condition here. No way. When we go to the road, we have to carry wipes, our wet rag, and a change of slippers to put on when we reach out a main road. And the same procedure coming.
If rain fall, about 3 days no rain to fall and water can't second. Water can't dry up. So if it rain, when it rain there, so I dump up my gateway. Dump up my gateway and rain. Water still a flood my yard. Better I wear a water boot. I can't dress up so I go away. If I never have a car to come out of my yard, I would have left my yard done at all.
Meanwhile, scores of students and commuters were left stranded Monday morning after the main thoroughfare between Montego Bay St. James and Westmoreland was blocked with trees and old appliances. Taxi operators also withdrew their service. They say they're tired of promises by their elected representatives.
Robbery and all kind of them things they can go on because we don't have no road. And I hear we are talking about and a play around thing. The MP come and him stop at one place and him not come up here so him not want to see what go on, you understand, kind of response to our people. But right now, we don't no joke thing. You say if it clear tonight, it's a black again, so yeah, they are them better make up their mind to sort out the thing. You understand? Road we want.
One business operator says his establishment has suffered.
No business today, a lot of losses. All days paid, workers don't work. Everything, the road is in terrible condition. I support it.
Meanwhile, chairman of the constituency, Craig Oates, is livid.
Hey, we have been blocked from 5 a.m. The cops who were here left. The soldiers that were here left. Because in my opinion, they stand in solidarity with the residents. They too have to traverse and drive on these roads as private citizens.
In the meantime, the National Works Agency says it allocated $17 million to fix the Shuttlewood to Maxfield stretch of the roadway, which includes Ramble. Community Relations Officer for the NWA's Western Region, Janelle Ricketts, says the contractor has been mobilized to get the work started today. The scope of work will include patching and drainage construction. The National Environmental and Planning Agency is theorizing that the recently reported fish kill in Harborview, East Kingston, was caused by low oxygen supply after days of heavy rains. Director for Environmental Management and Conservation at NEPA, Anthony Mackenzie, says NEPA is also probing whether a chemical spill is behind the incident.
We're postulating that because of the rains, it has caused that area to be anoxic and contributed to the fish kill. But it's a little early, but that's our postulation so far. But we're taking it from all angles. On the anoxic condition, the water column is depleted in oxygen levels. So marine life thrive and fish and so on thrive at a certain oxygen level within the water column. And when that condition is no longer, then it can result in the fish kill.
Mr. Mackenzie says NEPA has been working with the Jamaica Defence Force on the ground. He says the results of the investigation should be finalized by tomorrow.
Well, we're on the ground today. I don't suspect that we'd have to do specific cleanup of the fish because they'll be scavenged by the water birds and so on. So, but we'll make that determination. I think we should be in a better position tomorrow.
The first hearing in the challenge to access the public road leading to the Blue Lagoon in Portland is now underway in the parish court. The matter was brought before the court by the Jamaica Beach Birthright Environmental Movement. The area was closed last year for restructuring on August 29 and reopened on June 15. The group said the Blue Hole Road is still blocked since August 29. This is without any justification or notice, contrary to the rights of the public under the Prescription Act and the Common Law of Custom. The media is again coming under scrutiny from the parliamentary opposition. Opposition leader Mark Golding says the press has not been digging enough into why the Integrity Commission has not certified Prime Minister Andrew Holness's statutory declaration since 2020. He was speaking at a party meeting in St. Elizabeth. O'Shane Masters reports.
Pressure continues for Prime Minister Andrew Holness to state why his statutory declarations have not received the stamp of approval from the Integrity Commission. President of the People's National Party, PNP, Mark Golding, is again restating that it is not a good look for the country. Speaking to party supporters in St. Elizabeth Sunday night, he took the issue further, blasting members of the media for not doing enough to hold the Prime Minister accountable.
I don't hear the media saying anything about it. I don't hear them saying anything about it. Why is that? It's a serious issue. It is not a good look.
He says there are numerous negative ripple effects that can come from such. For one, he says investors could be turned off.
We need a Prime Minister who everybody has confidence in because their filings are up to date and have been certified. We need a government of integrity that ensures that the resources of the people are spent on the people, are only for the people.
Firebrand politician KD Knight also chided in on the PM statutory declaration. He says with no word from the Integrity Commission or Mr. Holness himself, Jamaicans are now left to speculate.
And I know right when people speculate and conclude that the Prime Minister of my country is going. I don't like it. And so for that and other reasons, I want to get rid of the Prime Minister because people speculating.
Both men were speaking at a PNP meeting where the 4 MP candidates and 15 councillors were announced for the parish of St. Elizabeth. O'Shane Masters, TVJ News.
The St. Catharines South Police are reporting success in their efforts to deal with criminal elements in their division. Sub-officer in charge of Central Village, Deputy Superintendent of Police Michael Campbell, provided an update at a recent awards function for officers who have been instrumental in crime reduction and curbing traffic violations.
50 persons in the month of October issued in excess of 3,500 tickets. And the arrests include prosecution, but there was a particular category that focused on the prosecution of motorcyclists. All right, and 9 such prosecutions were done.
One illegal firearm was also recovered last month in the Old Harbour Police Division. Member of Parliament for St. James East Central Edmund Bartlett is appealing to members of his constituency not to get involved in scamming. Mr. Bartlett was speaking at the launch of a community Wi-Fi project in Adelphi recently. He warns residents not to abuse the internet service being provided to carry out these illicit activities. Instead, he's urging them to find a decent way to make a living.
Look around and you will see The ones who are involved in this scamming and so on, you see how short them life is? Yes, probably they make money quick, but them dead quick too. We believe that you must make money and live. Not make money to die, but make money to live.
It's time for a break. Stay with us. More stories when we return. Welcome back to the Midday News. Justice Minister Delroy Chuck says the Ministry of Justice is looking to review the allocation set aside for justices of the peace. He says this is to assist with the costs associated with JP services, Romarda Lyons reports.
The Ministry of Justice is looking to deploy at least 10,000 justices of the peace across the island. Justice Minister Delroy Chuck says once JPs are successful in proactively securing peace and harmony through justice services, the ministry may look at increasing the allocation on an annual basis.
The Justice Ministry can see the worth of JPs providing services in their communities and then, ask some more allocation to the JP associations.
Currently, $1 million is set aside for JP associations. Mr. Chuck says the ministry is aware of the various costs associated with JP duties and is willing to review the allotment once there's accountability of the services.
The Ministry of Justice has quite a bit of money that it would like to beg the parish association to assist it in spending. We have money to promote justice in all the communities.
In the meantime, the Justice Minister says JPs have the ability to stem incidents of domestic violence.
I believe I have so much faith and so much focus and feel that the JPs across our country are the ones who can provide our citizens with a kinder and gentler attitude towards one another.
Romarda Lyons, TVJ News.
Meanwhile, Mr. Chuck is urging persons to be more intentional about creating a will. He says the failure to do so has been contributing significantly to domestic violence.
Serious conflicts within the families. And we need to get away from this idea that making a will is an omen for death. Well, as I said, and I will say it again, I made a will over 50 years ago, or close to 50 years ago, and I'm still around.
It's now time for the Business Minute.
Jamaica has been listed in the top 8 global performers in tourism for the first 9 months of the year. Travel data analysis company Forward Keys says the destinations that have seen the most growth in international tourist arrivals when compared to 2019 are overwhelmingly sun and beach focused locations. Forward Keys says the countries leading the ranking of top best performing destinations for the summer are Costa Rica, Aruba, Dominican Republic and Jamaica, all of which rely heavily upon international travel. And the passengers flying out of the Cayman Islands will have to pay an additional $19 in charges. This according to new regulations which were gazetted on November 1. The rules say that the carriers must pay the Cayman Islands Airports Authority a new airport development fee of $15 and an increased terminal charge of $5 from $1. These will be added to the current passenger facilities charge of $13, which has been legally required since 2009. Now, if any carrier does not pay the charges, they could be fined up to $5,000 or be jailed for 6 months. The temporary airport development fee, which must be paid from January 2024 until December 2029, has been created to help fund a $660 million expansion of Cayman's airports. And that's it for the Business Minute. I'm Shane Masters.
Time now for the top regional and international stories.
In the region, Bermuda is considering becoming a full-fledged member of the Caribbean Community CARICOM. According to Governor Rena Lalge, they have initiated the consultation process. She says gaining full membership in CARICOM is the right thing to do, as the country is also marking 20 years as an associate member. On the international scene, the Hamas-run health ministry says at least 45 people have been killed in what it said was an Israeli airstrike at the Al-Maghazi refugee camp. Israel's military says it is looking into whether it was operating in the area at the time. Efforts are ongoing to find those still missing. And Tyson Foods is recalling about 30,000 pounds of chicken nuggets. The company said it was voluntarily pulling the nuggets after people reported finding small pieces of metal inside the patties. The packaging includes a best used by date of September 4th, 2024. The chicken was sold in a number of states including California, Illinois, Michigan, Tennessee, and Virginia. The USDA says there has been one minor oral injury associated with consumption of the nuggets. And those were the top regional and international stories. I'm Carrie Simpson.
Thank you, Carrie. And we head to a quick break. When we come back, we'll have your midday sports report with O'Shane Masters.